All right. So this is a follow-up segment. So we knew that the Biden family was meeting at Camp David to decide what the best way forward was, and we have some more reporting on that and more.
All right. So they had a little meeting, just the Bidens and Annie Leibovitz, apparently, which we'll get to, privately discussed the way forward. Members of Joe Biden's family privately trashed his top campaign advisors at Camp David this weekend, blaming them for the president's flop in Thursday's debate and urging Biden to fire or demote people in his political high command. Now you're really into aristocracy, where you've got demented aristocrats taking it out on the servants. There is no immediate expectation that Biden will follow through on that advice, according to 3 people briefed on the family conversations, but not directly involved. Several nursing home workers were quoted as saying, when someone gets Alzheimer's and they were an asshole before, they just become a bigger asshole. That's not in there. It should be, though. It should be. The 3 people were granted anonymity to discuss the matter. Among the family's complaints about the debate practice, that Biden was not prepared to pivot more to go on the attack, that he was bogged down too much on defending his record rather than outlining a vision for his second term, and that he was overworked and not well rested. The blame was cast widely on staffers, including Anita Dunn, the senior advisor who frequently has the president's ear, her husband Bob Bauer, the president's attorney who played Trump in rehearsals at Camp David, and Ron Klain, the former chief of staff who ran point on the debate prep and previous cycle sessions. Quote, the aides who prepped the president have been with him for years, often decades, seeing him through victories and challenges. He maintained strong confidence in them, Biden campaign spokesperson Kevin Munoz said in a statement. A senior Biden aide also pushed back, saying it was not true that frustration was directed at Dunn, Bauer, and Klain. Biden allies and staffers have sought to blame a variety of factors in the aftermath of Biden's dismal debate performance, including that the president was ill, was overprepared, and that the CNN moderators failed to fact-check former President Donald Trump. Yes, blame the moderators. Baby, I took a wrong turn. I had a flat tire. The dog ate my homework. It wasn't me, baby. It wasn't me. But as the crisis continued into a third day, the finger pointing is turned inward towards some of Biden's closest advisors. The focus on the staff, however, also allowed the family to overlook Biden's own failings in Atlanta, one of the people familiar noted. These people said the Biden family wanted the president to continue in the campaign rather than end his career with a calamitous debate performance against Trump, whom they all loathe. First Lady Jill Biden and his son Hunter Biden were the loudest voices urging the president to stay in the 2024 contest. The Biden family also expected to huddle to discuss the best way to reassure Democrats that staying in the race is the right decision. The president himself was calling around to hear what his confidants thought. As Biden boarded Air Force One on Saturday, he chatted on the phone with John Meacham, according to photographs of the caller ID. Additionally, Biden's campaign staff only grew angrier at CNN as to how the debate was run, according to several people familiar with the conversations. It's the refs. Their complaints were lengthy, including that the moderator should have fact-checked Trump more often. Yeah, they should have done your job.
Yeah, they should have done your job. Yeah,
they should. What do they think? They're journalists or something?
No, when you lose a basketball game,
they're not operatives of the DNC.
Yeah, no, I mean, when you lose a basketball game, it's very common for the coach to say, "Well, the referee could have shot a couple hoops for us. He could have landed a few baskets. He was open a few times, and we passed to him, and he didn't even bother catching it."
Yeah, that would not cost them what's left of their credibility. Not that there's a lot of it. That Biden was not told which camera he'd be on when not speaking, and that the makeup staff made him appear too pale, according to the three people. Yeah, that was the problem. Biden did, however, agree to the terms of the debate before it was held. Yeah, what's making you look pale is necrosis.
Right. Yeah.
Since the debate, Biden's family has publicly and privately rallied behind him. Granddaughters Finnegan and Natalie Biden, the ones he acknowledges, traveled with the president and first lady for a slate of fundraising events on Saturday in New York and New Jersey. Although the family had long planned to spend this weekend together at Camp David to take a family portrait with photographer Annie Leibovitz, the gathering offered an opportunity for them to sit down together in the days following what is shaping up to be a low point in the president's decades-long political career. Biden often consults his family on big decisions, and people close to him say that the only way he would come to the conclusion to drop out of the race would be if the first lady and members of his family encouraged him to do so. So just a little bit on that quickly, because Politico dropped another article. Behind the last firewall, Hill Democrats scramble to save themselves because all the down ballot people are shitting themselves right now. Quote, the leadership of the party should be going to the White House and knocking down the doors and saying, time's up, an advisor to top Democratic donor said. Anybody trying to prolong the inevitable here is just basically putting us on a giant fucking death march toward the end. That sense. Look, there's somebody with some kind of sense in that party.
Right.
That sense of anger is palpable among rank and file congressional Democrats, many of whom blame Biden and his family for hiding the reality of his condition. Ding, ding, ding. The House Democrat lamented defending the president on the campaign trail, despite getting political advice to run away from him, only to find out how bad things were on Thursday. Quote, it's just his egotism and his family's enabling, the person said. Jill Biden, of all people, she sees him every single day. She's the one person who could end this train wreck. This should have been a one-term president. Yes, absolutely right. And we said that when we showed that grotesque display of Jill Biden talking to him like a 3-year-old. Oh, Joe, you answered all the questions, Joe. You knew all the facts. She likes being first lady more than she likes him. If anyone in that family gave a shit about him, he would have resigned already. But no, they don't want to lose their position. God knows what kind of deal Hunter is working in the back alleys between hitting the crack pipe. They want to ride this gravy train as long as they can. So this article also mentioned that the RNC is already combing through all the down ballot races where Democrats have assured the public that there's nothing wrong with Biden. So Dave McCormick is the Republican running against Bob Casey. They already rushed out an ad. So let's take a look.
I've ever seen in my entire life.
No two ways about it. That was not a good debate for Joe Biden.
Panic.
Not just panic, it's pain.
Oh my God. So what do we do about this?
Everything we have to do with look.
What would you have Joe Biden do to make the case that he's not an elderly, well-meaning gentleman?
People are going to see it in the campaign.
No question he's prepared to do this job today and would be were he reelected.
One of my best buddies, very close friend, one of my closest friends, Bobby Casey.
I have a lot of confidence in his leadership.
No question he's prepared to do this job today.
Oh, yeah. You're going to be seeing that all up and down the ballot if they don't get rid of him. So you saw a few pretty humorous reactions, particularly to the revelation that they were doing a photo shoot with Annie Leibovitz in the wake of this. What time did you book President Biden's photo shoot with Annie Leibovitz? 4:30.
Yeah,
oh no.
Yeah.
And you have the cadaver in the box there. This is from Sonny Bunch. This got a lot of play. Joe Biden doing a photo shoot with Annie Leibovitz while the country debates how many hours a day he's fully conscious is the most Tom Wolfe thing I've seen in quite some time.
Yeah, it did well.
Yes. Of course, Tom Wolfe, the author of Bonfire of the Vanities, and Radical Chic. He actually coined that phrase. So with incredible tone deafness, they dropped this magazine cover right now. Now, apparently, this is not an interview she just did. She did this in April, but Anna Wintour, who is a big shitlib, decided it would be a really good idea to rush this out, thinking this would be damage control rather than doing more damage.
I mean, it could also be one of her last chances if they do get forced out.
It's true. It's true. She didn't want to waste the photo shoot.
Yeah, exactly.
And so the New York Post, in one of their better satire headlines, did this. Should have been vague. Jill Biden answers questions for her husband. 5 ways to explain away a bad night. Hot for fall. Rubber sole shoes. That's my favorite. How to beat Medicare. Best activities between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. So well done there at the New York Post. That's tabloid journalism at its best.
Yeah, and the Post, a very Trump-friendly outlet, so they were tempted to run with the Trump limited immunity ruling there, but they didn't. This forced it out because how could you pass up an opportunity
how could you not
run with that? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, look, it seems like his inner circle is the barrier. Tucker Carlson has tweeted out a couple of different times that, he claims to have it from a source that the decision's been made to drop him. Don't believe any of this. They're going to drop him. He's not going to be the nominee. That could very well be the case, too. So we'll have to wait and see.
It definitely would not surprise me to just wake up in the morning and see the headline, Biden drops out of race.
No, because they're not going to say it until they have a plan. They're not going to announce he's stepping down until they have a plan exactly how it's going to go from there. They're not just going to leave everybody in limbo. That's the most politically damaging thing they can do. So it could just be that until they're figuring it out, they're sticking with he's our guy. But, Andrew Yang tweeted out, and this is a good point. I didn't even think about this. Andrew Yang tweeted look, if you announce at the same time Biden drops out, this is who we're putting forward as the nominee, the fundraising off of that announcement would be off the hook because all the libs would bust their checkbook out. So you'd probably have a record-setting fundraising day if you did this. So the sooner, the better. And I do think the sooner, the better. The only thing is it Kamala? Did they just do that? I mean, there's no real political point to doing that since she's a guaranteed loss as well.
Right.
So, look, it's a total shitstorm. It's a shitstorm of their own making. Everything is just coming home to roost for the Democrats now between the Trump lawfare stuff just blowing up in their faces and this. This is why, if you're blue MAGA, if you are really invested in the idea that the only thing standing between this country and the end times is the Democratic Party, wow, that's quite a place to be. But if you're the kind of person who's there, this is dire. This is absolutely dire. There are no options that even approach good options. There's nothing that can really. There's no plan you feel confident in now, which is why for the time being, they're saying he's not dropping out. But don't forget the DNC says they run their primaries, they run their party like a corporation. They could do whatever they want. Well, that assumes they have a certain power over the president himself, does it not? Why can't they just... No, we're not seating these delegates at the convention. They are disqualified. We voted as a committee. We are disqualifying your delegates, and we are picking someone else. Can they not just do that if they wanted to? I mean, they seem to argue in court they could do something like that if a Bernie Sanders won. So why can't they do it now? Oh, you won the primary? That's nice. Our people have voted, and we don't want you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson!
Exactly, yeah. The challenge is going to be finding someone who's willing to inherit this kind of shit show.
Right, exactly, because there's not a lot of upside. You're almost definitely going to lose.
Right. I mean, a guy like Gavin Newsom's wanted to be president his whole life. Does he want to enter a race like this that he's almost certain to lose? Right? They'll have to. I mean, you suggested Eric Adams the last show. That would be great. He would do it.
He would do it in a heartbeat.
He'd do it in a heartbeat.
He if there's a guy who very shortly is going to need to be able to pardon himself, it's Eric Adams.
It's Eric. That's true. Yeah, it comes with the added benefit of that too. That's true.
Please clap.